Hey, Shalom, Shalom. We're about to go do a mic check on the video check to make sure everything's good.
Check one, check one. Oh yeah.
We're up.
What about a roll speech?
Good around?
I don't know. I know Jake checked it.
You good?
My other phone dead, so I can't check.
They go in the instance.
God, I'm going to open with the scripture. This is
Okay.
Jeremiah 49 and 10. And it reads, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren, his neighbors, and he is not. Call the Lord Yahweh Shai. Yeah, we want to give all praise and honor unto Yahweh.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakash.
Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops, salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. You know, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathens, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, we give a true and hearty shalom. Yeah, these Edomites, a lot of them know that their time is up, you know, and a lot of them are ashamed of themselves, you know, what they refer to as critical race theory, and it isn't theory. It's critical race. That's your history, man. You know that book, Without Sanctuary. That isn't theory.
That's right.
That isn't a book full of theory. You know,
Or conjecture.
right. That's a book full of facts.
That's right.
Things that you did, man.
Can I get this while you're getting that?
Go ahead, bring out whatever you got.
This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Elder, they got that doomsday clock.
Yes, sir.
India don't got a doomsday clock. China don't got a doomsday clock.
You're absolutely correct.
The only people who got a doomsday clock is these Edomites here in America. Because they know they got a short fucking time.
That's right. And they know, like the elder says from the title of the lesson, it's almost over. Well, you know it's almost over. You know what you're going to do? Throw the kitchen sink at them. Think about any sports team. If you think about basketball, football, baseball, whatever. If the other team who's losing, I don't care what sport it is, in the latter innings or the latter stage of the game, you know what's going to happen? The other team trying to come to win is going to empty the bench. They're going to throw in the utility player. They're going to throw the extra player. They're going to throw in the kitchen sink. Why? Because they don't do anything to do to get a chance to fight. Esau now is doing whatever he can do to try to win, and nothing what he's going to do.
Yeah,
He'll be available.
staged events left and right.
That's right.
And I still believe that something's going to happen over the next couple of days or so. You know, I pray it be so.
So, KP, talking about 2 days ago, it's supposed, this guy's supposed to shoot up the Sears Tower.
Well, you had that
Yeah.
con, but now there's a threat that's came in, you know, to Homeland Security or whoever, and it's saying that Iran and I think Turkey together plan on doing a strike against America for revenge for Soleimani. Remember how how that year started off with the death of Soleimani, and you know, and they said that they want to actually they plan on killing Donald Trump and Mike Pence. So that basically, and then you when you start putting everything together, and then they have that warning at what happened in the warning in New York about the nuclear thing, and then
Georgia Guidestones got blew up.
that happened.
New Jersey got the radiation shit.
Then you got this thing on the $100 bill, on the $10 bill. It's all supposed to happen around this time because the $100 bill actually, if you fold it a certain way, how the $20 bill after $20, the $100 bill actually has a tidal wave or tsunami coming through New York, just like in that scene in that movie. It literally looks identical to it. And then there's something else with the $10 bill, I forget. But nevertheless, they're basically they're setting up for a false flag event to blame it.
It's funny that you say that because even Dabu, when he had said something about the whole nuclear commercial, the PSA announcement from New York, he was like, first of all, why would a third world, a nuclear superpower, they're going to come do a
They would
event.
just do it.
They'll do a big event.
Yeah.
They're not going to do no little small shit. But Esau always, if you look at his track record, from the tungsten thing that started Vietnam to the bullshit that happened with
So the earliest,
Japan,
beginnings.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to the Boston Tea Party.
Thank you.
And I always bring out the fact
That's
that then that also, that got blamed on Gad,
Exactly.
and then they gave Esau license, and then so these
Well,
guys
Esau-
were getting clubbed to death, stabbed, shot, and murdered for a false event that they had nothing to do with.
that Esau set up himself.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
So
true.
it served a dual purpose,
That's it. That's it.
But anybody hold the scripture?
I got a couple.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so along with all of the prophecies that's going on in the world today that gives you the signs of the times and the understanding that this thing is over with, and here it is, like the elder was saying, these heathen, you have certain of them that know that it's almost over and it's going down as well. But here's another telltale sign or prophecy that's left that the scriptures talk about that you would understand and know that we're in the end, the very end, not the beginning of the end, all right, which was over 2,000 years ago when our Lord and Savior was on the scene.
Cut to Erdenberg.
Right. but also even much more now. All right, are we at the end of the end? Not even the last few days, we're the last few seconds now, right? So this is Matthew 24 and 14, and it says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." So here, this gospel, this good news, this truth, which in 2nd Ezra 6 and 28 says, "It shall be so long without fruit." And it was so long without fruit because the Most High had allowed Esau Edom to go around the world deceiving. That was a part of the blessing of Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, the wicked, according to the Bible. That was part of their blessing to go around and be able to deceive. And so here it is, not only deceive the Israelites, which
Their own people,
yep,
and everyone else too.
Yep, but their own people in all these heathen nations. And so here it is, they seeing that they have got sold fool's gold. You know what I'm saying? And so they coming out with all this information and letting you know the true agenda of these elites, which ultimately is to get to a one world order, a new world government in wickedness, all right, where they, Dorito chip everyone so they can play God and keep track and
give you what one brother refers to as the BAM.
The BAM. Okay, yep. And so all these things, so all these things are happening and they see it, but again, like it says in all this Revelation 11:11, because we just read how that in that Matthew, this gospel shall be preached around the whole world, then shall the end come. Mm-hmm. So this is Revelation 11:11. It says, "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them," all right, "to now remember themselves," all right, "and to receive their measure of faith and understanding, and then go propagate the word of God in truth," right? And we talked about it yesterday at camp of how the Lord said to the disciples when they asked of him, "Hey, will thou at this time, all right, restore the kingdom back?" Right, but to Israel, but
they were ready then.
Exactly. See, but the Lord replied to them saying that, well, it's not. That's going to happen, basically. You know what I'm saying? But when it's not given. That when it's going to happen is not given. But he goes on to say that, oh no, you're going to witness, in Judea and Samaria and to the uttermost parts of the earth. And we went into that word uttermost part where it talks about the last, basically the
stature. Yeah, but it's in multi levels though. One was in in time, place.
In time and place.
But then it's also in he said in worth too. He's like,
Yes.
you're the last, like he said, the last of the last, it's going to be just like the worthless. And I'm like, well, damn, you go to the ends of the world, you can go to California, and it was like Californication,
Right.
and how they're just the worst
the
of the
worst,
worst.
yeah.
And that song, since you mentioned it, it says the sun may rise in the east, but it's sun to the final location. They know this is the end of the shit.
They know
West
it's
Coast.
almost over. That's why they put it in their media as well, because they know.
Right? And so,
Yeah, how many commercials? Remember that commercial that came out a couple of years back where they were showing the destruction and the chariots were beaming up Jake and they all had on certain t-shirts.
Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, it was doing the Super Bowl. And the only people getting beamed up was Jake. You know, so they know it's coming, man.
Yep. I'm gonna finish this Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. All right, goes into that wisdom of Solomon. When, you know, the men stood stiffly. All right, to you know, speak this word in the face of our enemies that has lied to us. All right, it says, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right, so here it is. We are speaking this truth. All right, and great fear is coming upon those that has been lying, the elites and these, you know, different, you know, underlings to the elites that know what's up, you know. And so even under, you know, way under them, you have a lot of people that's, man, just spitting out the truth, man, and spitting out what's going on, whether it be, you know, geoeconomically, geopolitically, you know, all these things according to the prophecies. All right, they're letting it out, man.
Even referring to history.
Yeah.
Like I was explaining how we went live, that our client has been my client for many years. And her brother, you know, she has two younger brothers that are twins, and they would basically it was like a party at they great big old abode out there in Highland Park. And her siblings were there, and then, you know, and the name Hercules came up. We were breaking down, you know, I started breaking down history about that, and how Hercules wasn't a white guy at all, and they weren't shocked. And then I even showed them the proof, or showed them the evidence of the vases, you know, that were left behind in Greece. And when there was a certain vase of him slaying a bunch of priests. And you know, he's this gigantic black dude. Then you see all these other Greek soldiers, these real Japhetic people, that are running to the aid of the priest. All right, and yeah, that's the one.
Which one? This one here or this one?
I think it's that one there on the other, and I think it's on the other side of it.
This one right
You
here?
know, because there's multiple sides to that.
Cut.
But it's definitely one of those pieces that look like that.
Mm-hmm.
When he's destroying them on it. But anyway, you know, when they looked at that, and then they just started just coming with it. You know, my client's sister-in-law started crying how she hates all the lies and all the unfair people who've been wronged in the past, and you know, woo out the bam, and you know, and history hasn't been. It's definitely one of those. It's from that series of.
See now, so this is perfect. If I may.
It's from that series of artifacts.
Do you see
that they
this
found.
here? Do you see here on this picture, whitish looking people, all right? But then you're looking on other pictures, you see blackish looking people. This black person
Well,
right
you
here,
can even see the woolly
dragging
hair
down
on
a
some of
so-called white, right? White person. That's lets you know they could. If this was a so-called white person, that would have been white too, as they have. This is white. As you see, this is so-called black. And you see, this is so-called white. They were showing you.
Look at the hair and the features on that one,
Yes.
though. See, even on that one, if you could zoom in on it, you could clearly see when you look at up close, the feet, not the smaller ones got woolly hair. All right, but you know, that's neither here nor there. The point is that they start admitting that they know that history has been fabricated, that they're aware that there's been a lot of lies that have been told about certain time periods, and the little girl was sitting there with her mouth open, and she's like, "Why, Daddy? Why would they do that?" And then her father, you know, Gavin said, "Hey, it's racism, honey." That's what he told his little girl. He said it was just racism and hate, and people trying to make history to fit their agenda, their narrative, you know. You know, and he tried to quote Napoleon Bonaparte when he said that history is the agreed upon lies by the victors, basically. You know, it's pretty much the same with something like that.
I got
Bring it out, brother.
this is Jeremiah 16:19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity and things wherein there is no profit. Now, of course, ultimately, it's talking about actually us, that was once Gentiles, but the scriptures are manifold, like you said, the wisdom of Solomon in the 7th chapter. So even the heathens, they come into the realization that they've inherited lies. The things they've been following, what was taught, you know, have been lies, man. And they know it. You know, even just regular young Edomites, like that dude, that little girl father didn't even lie to her, told her straight up, because this is what we did. And they know that. All right? Edom knows that, man. This is James 2:19. Thou believes that there is one God. Thou believes that thou believes that there is one God who is well, the devil believe in trouble. Y'all read that revelation that said they still my feet, they had great fear. Because when we coming out, they know what we Esau has done diligent research. He's excavating all the we went to the scriptures. So okay, well, this is what his land must be. He went and excavated it. They found the wall of Jericho. They tested the wall that was left, the western part. I believe it was the west wall. They saw a window. They saw the fabric hanging in the window. They found all this stuff, man. So Esau knows the truth. Right. So like it says, the devils believe in tremble.
It's like that one dude that I used to watch, and I don't see his videos anymore. I think they got rid of him. They might have unalived him. He was brother something. He was a reform. Oh, and her father said it's called revised history. And so like you have revised books, but
that's why they do revisions every so often.
That dude I'm talking about, he was called brother something. He came out with a lot of bangers years back, and that's actually how I found out about Fort Antonia. Through watching, I heard him say something, and then I went and looked it up, researched it, and I did a video on it, and then Elder Ramla, Apostle Ramla, went in on it hard, not a short time after that. But basically, like you said, they do all these excavations. They know, like the Wailing Wall, right? Because you know they could, you know, just tell me when I go back there, I'm gonna put a note in the wall for you, a prayer. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
And it's like,
but there is no scripture in the Bible. Can any brother find me the scripture in the Bible that speaks about praying at the Wailing Wall?
not a one.
So
I can find a verse where it says no stone will be left.
You know what?
That sounds about right. And and see, that's just it. It said there will be no stone left of the temple. So, and then you find out that they're at this Wailing Wall, dry humping the wall, all right, with a hat on. And then you find out that wall is not even,
it's not even right.
Anything that had anything to do with the temple.
God.
It was a place, I think it was I think it was either the 10th Legion or the 13th Legion that was housed there, a Roman Legion.
And then the Elder Nagab had posted a video a while ago. The Elder Nagab had posted a video, and I don't think if brother synced it.
I got it right
about oh, you finna play?
1925.
Yeah, because yeah, that's the spirit.
It showed you Israel in 1925,
It also,
and then they added color to it. You know how they got technology now where they can take old black and whites. That's also how you prove that the Native Americans were so-called Negroes. Because that brother Cootie Merrill, he started using that he was finding these old images from the 18 and the 1700s and add color to them, and you know, and Gad looked just like you. You know, as far as their skin was concerned. But while you getting that, I'm gonna play this quick video.
I put in Wailing and hell one that says Wailing Wall.
No scripture.
No, out of 16 times you see the word wailing. Now, one time this is wailing wall or anything about a fucking wall.
Right. So the scriptures say don't add onto, don't take away. You know, and then in Romans 15:4, you know, these things are written in the past, were written for knowledge. So there's no scripture to tell us to go hump a wall. and pray for somebody.
And
I
then,
think so.
and then
Paul
all
and see the show for
with-
sure,
and-
got 0 verses of wailing and law. 0.
so and then
1925.
There's the evidence. Well, I'm gonna play this first because this
What-
is something that
okay.
when we talk about Esau knowing his history, this video is called some more ugly history that Europeans want to hide. Did it turn off? Yeah, I didn't use it. That's why I did that.
Was an uprising by the Kikuyu
There we go.
people who wanted their land back. The Kikuyu were herded into concentration camps and fortified villages, almost the entire population of over 1 million people.
This is in
People
South
were
Africa.
systematically tortured to death. They invented a new kind of pliers whose purpose was first to crush men's testicles and then to cut them off.
Oh my God.
They raped women with bayonets. They raped men. Similarly, a favourite technique was to ram sand up the rectum with a stick. Sometimes they were rolled up in barbed wire and kicked around the compound until they bled to death. Some of the British soldiers boasted about this. This is within living memory. The Colonial Secretary lied about it. The papers documenting it were
1
burnt.
million people.
The impact of the rich and powerful nation has been so phenomenally murderous and destructive that it has been completely airbrushed. For the Second
Yeah,
World
so
War.
that was pretty sick. I'm gonna send that. I'm gonna send that to you. But
Rolled in barbed wire.
yeah, but it's funny.
Yeah.
This happened at the same time that people were doing the Holocaust, but there's no record of this.
Of course not.
All right, there's no, and no one's hunting down these men, and they were showing the faces of some of the soldiers. Nobody's hunting down these old men. He said that was done, and a lot of these people are still alive. And no one is, bringing these people to court and throwing them in jail in the last moments of their life when they're in their late 90s. Tell them you're gonna go to jail for the rest of your life for what you did, to Anne Frank.
That guy that got,
You know?
101 guy that gave him 5 years and shit.
Right, because he was a prison guard. You can give a 97-year-old dude 5 years in prison because he was a prison guard in an internment camp in Nazi Germany. But yet, all those images of the things that happened in that book, Without Sanctuary, and like the video I just played.
You want to play this?
Yeah, go ahead, play it. Israel 1925.
True that. I agree. Some of them were.
It's an old silent film. They put music to it.
And for the record, that music is actually old too. They can't, that's over the statutes. They can't say shit. I was gonna say it, but I didn't. Right. And like the Elder Benji is saying right now, when you see this video, majority of these are all dark-skinned people. But majority of these dark-skinned people
They're heathens, most
they
of
will
them.
probably be Falasian Jews. They're Ethiopian Falasian Jews. They're
And
not the
Ishmaelites too.
Right, or Ishmaelites, but they're not the real Israelites. Once we were out, we were not en masse there. But it lets you know that they were not Edomites there.
Also,
Right? I'll pause, give me a sec.
no, that lady, the third lady from the road, go back a little bit. No, you see that girl? It's just that she got that dashiki on, the same thing Jake wearing West Africa. And Kazak did a Kazak from Mississippi did a
This
shit
is
that had
right.
dashiki, had Jake originate had invented the dashiki.
I can believe that.
So I believe that's a Jake.
But first of all, we were scattered abroad. So
Well,
even,
so we're
even
gonna
if
be
these
found
are
everywhere.
Falasian Jews, we will still have the Israelites in there. But the
Right.
point is that in the land,
When the president of Egypt in 1951 gave that speech about you left here black and came back white. He said you will never be accepted in this land. We can never accept you in this land for you left here black and came back white. Who are you people? And I played it for this Arab. And for this Ishmaelite, And he broke it down. He said that's exactly what he said.
Hey.
And that, you know, that video, and that was around 2007.
Right.
You know, that video, they removed that video from YouTube. You're not able to find it.
Yeah,
Every time somebody uploads it, they take it down because it's a black and white film, and then he says it to the whole world. It was a speech that he gave, and he said it to the whole world.
Elder, remember the video that I sent you about the Mayan record books? That these are people that were so meticulous with record keeping, and then all these books got burned when the Spanish got there. Why? Because they basically gave a long and a meticulous breakdown, because they said they would document their day to day. You know what I mean?
Because we had scribes, and we had scribes that followed the priests around, followed everybody.
They came from the east. That their forefathers came from the east. They were all the way. Even a lot of the Gadites were aware of that too. They knew that their people came from the east far ago.
And then,
out real quick.
and
Yes, sir.
Because Jake was going in on, you know, how Esau knows who we are in the book of the medieval empire of the Israelites under the section.
I've been trying to get that book for years.
Yeah, the bar got a PDF for it. But under the section for Ecuador, there's a in the second, let me see here. In like the fourth, fifth paragraph, it says, "It must be said that the problem of the South American Jewish Indians has been occupying minds in Europe since as early as the 17th century." So that's the 1600s. All right, so they've been knowing about this, man. They've got up, digged up the artifacts. They found all the stones.
Scripture
They
said
seen all the
search.
Israelite customs.
Yeah, just notice that Scripture said they made a diligent search.
That's right.
That's it.
And then if you go to the end of the section, it says, "I think that the descendants of the 10 tribes live not only in America, but also around the whole world. These are those Jews who have not seen the second temple. They possibly will be dispersed until the prophecies of their reunification be realized."
That's the Scriptures, man.
damn.
So that's a cold fact, and I've been trying to get that book for years, man. Yeah, man, if I get my hands on that book,
That shit,
The Wisconsin brothers got it too.
they have the actual
The
book.
actual book, yep.
Yeah.
That's where I got this from.
Gun. And
But not only does that show that they know that we're the people, but they also know about the prophecies. What the prophecy says, that the Lord was going to come back, reunify the people from among all the nations, and jack up whoever it was that was afflicting us. Like it says in Baruch, man, miserable are the cities that afflicted us, man.
It was the same testimony that the Manassarite gave Francisco in that lost tribes and promised lands. You know, it pretty much said that in the end of days that these people will rule over all people in the world, and everybody that ever wronged them would be judged. Something to that effect. Go ahead, Pops.
This is Sirach 4:5. The children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their prosperity shall have a perpetual reproach. The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake. Woe be unto you ungodly men which have forsaken the law of the Most High power, for if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse, and if ye die, a curse shall be your portion.
Right. So even when they admit stuff, they still don't want to admit the truth. Like Gavin, his wife was sitting up there crying about how she literally crying tears, and it makes me so upset when I read about, I learn about how wrong people were, and I'm like, with your ish self, looking at it. You right. You ain't gave up. You ain't went into your bank account. Right. You right. You ain't went into your jewelry box.
let me give you. This is my great grandmother's.
It's like that one comedian said how he said, I like it how you Canadians have Observance Day, and he did the whole joke about how he opens up his house and yells out his window to the natives, thank you for this house, his rocks, it's really cool here. No, you
crazy.
can't come in.
Right.
Right.
You know? He got one too.
Oh, what's that, Rock? He just read it? Everybody got spirit.
I got something real quick.
There you go.
This is 2 Thessalonians.
The Psalm 64 and 6. The search out iniquities, it comes to diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly they shall be wounded. So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right, and we know Esau, scripture, he binds them in Daniel, but Esau search these things out, man. All right, he had archaeologists
Con.
on all these continents digging up historical artifacts and pottery and
Hey, yeah. Like even in this video, they show you Absalom's temple, his grave, but then they tell you that Solomon don't exist, that these was fictional characters. But the scriptures also talk about how they dug up the bones of the prophets, which goes into them hiding the history. But like you saying, they know they dug it all up and they fucking either destroyed it or hid it into their secret places.
I got an image in my phone.
Uprising by the Kikuyu people.
I got an image in my phone of the father of Egyptology, Edomite, standing proudly like Captain Morgan on the head of a gigantic head of a Hamite with his big wide nose and his thick lips. And basically, it's signifying that we covering this history up. That the hell with this history. It's our history because they taught. You know, there's a video where I just did a video about it where these two doctors, two Jake doctors from West Africa, had a sit down against 18 Edomite scholars and they smashed them. All right, and basically proved that Egypt was full of dark people and always was until the time of Alexander. And so what Esau does is that they'll take that time of Alexander when Ptolemy was ruling.
Right.
All right, and then they'll act and they'll show you images from that time period
With the noses.
Yeah.
That's why they knocked them off.
Because it's true. White people did rule Europe, but after the fact. I mean, did rule Europe too, but they did rule Egypt, but that was after the fact. Right. And his whole argument was that because they teach this theory that all these white people came in and built all these pyramids, all right, but they never built no pyramids nowhere else in the world.
Right.
So why did you just come into you weren't from there, but you came in and built all these pyramids,
well, they
but you never
down.
built no pyramids anywhere else. But guess who did build pyramids that were the same exact measurements as the ones that were over there in North Africa?
Northern and Southern.
That was the same people that built them in all throughout the Americas.
If you go to America, if you go to Europe during the time of the so-called quote-unquote Dark Ages, you'll find pyramids and mounds that are indicative of the original pyramids. If you come over here in South America, you'll find pyramids and mounds. I'm not just in so-called Mexico land, Aztec.
Even in some parts of America too.
It's I was just gonna say this. The pyramid, one of the largest, is in Illinois.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge as fuck. You know what I mean?
And they're all throughout because we built them.
And they don't talk about it.
Multiple reasons. One part for storing grains and food and so forth. Also for protection and things of that nature, man.
And also because Jake was worshiping the damn stars.
They got them in China, underground water in China. They found pyramids.
Yeah, that's that movie, the Mummy Pyramids about.
Yeah, that was all Jake.
I would play this sketch, but I'm not gonna play it for they don't copyright shit.
That's right.
But check out this Richard Pryor show.
You could definitely
Richard Pryor?
the UCC Fair Use Act. Fair Use Act.
Yeah, right, and we use this on Fair Use
Matter
Act.
of fact, I'll go find it and read it.
Yeah.
So we'll make it official.
Right, because that's why Louis C.K. said what he said, because according to the present day knowledge, in his mind, an Edomite can travel any time back in time,
right.
And he believes they've always been in Dominion. That's
right.
why
Which is
those different pictures they see, it's always a struggle between white and blacks, but really, those depictions, again, only precede Alexander. and they're on forward, but you won't have anything before, and that's because all the evidence before was against them, to show that it was dark-skinned people, or it was indigenous people, just like when they were just looking at the way that in Central South America the custom of to bury the dead, they said, look, this is indicative of the Israelites. Okay, they have the same pattern because Esau was killing them in mass numbers, man. To the point that when they would be able to dig up these mass graves, they're like, look, there's only another set of people that do it like this, you know, and it was Jake.
We found no mounds also in West Africa, mounds, small pyramids.
Yeah, you know where Jake was after Roman persecution.
I'm gonna read this disclaimer now.
Yeah, quick
Go ahead, brother.
This Genesis 27. This is back to Brother Ariella. Genesis 27 and 39. Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And this goes with what the brother Ariella was saying, because before Edom got power, they were under our captivity. Judah had Edom under captivity. All right, so one of his sons, they went to wipe out the males of Edom, but it wasn't time for Edom to be destroyed, so the prophecy got fulfilled. One of the sons and the few that was with him, they ran and escaped to Egypt.
Right.
And after that, they got loose from under Judah's dominion, and then they started to rise and climb to power, man. When you read the rest of Esther, they was trying to get they were trying to take over Persia. They didn't accomplish that until Macedonia and Greece.
Exactly.
But before that, you was in servitude, and you going back to servitude.
During the Dark Ages too. During the Dark Ages, they were the serfs. They were the serfs and the servants in the day. You know,
King David was
you know, that was them, the wild men.
All right, that's your revelation prophecy of Satan being locked up for 1,000 years. And Satan is talking about Edom. And your prison was the Caucasus Mountains. All right, you got tired of Jake having to feed up your ass, so y'all wouldn't head to the Caucasus Mountains then until your 1,000 years or so.
Yeah, you got those different German tapestry was showing Esau coming down out of the mountains, out of the forest, attacking castles in Germany with black people in them. All right, and those were from the 1300, 14, 1500s. These different tapestries.
But 1,000 years then, right.
So real quick before we play that, this is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107, Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips balance the favor of fair use. You can play that video and they can't do a damn thing.
I got it open! Good heavens, man! Great Scott, we've discovered the fountain of all knowledge of Egypt in the entire world. Do you realize the importance of this moment, Smith? Back in the year 3 BC! Man, it was getting down! This is it, brother! Everybody gonna know about this! Listen, we can change the history! Civilization will change! Man! It's gonna be it! It's the bulldozers, there's nothing here. Shut up! Oh, heavens, time to chill,
I know what it's
And they done shit like, not exactly like that, but they done stuff.
No, exactly like that.
So I mean, they make comedy out of something that's scarily, that's very true. You know?
Right. Food for thought.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bring it out, brother.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except there come and follow like Yahweh was bringing it out. We went to that fallen away and now we being brought back. And these Edomites been deceived and been lying for a long time, and now he's being revealed. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now he's being revealed of who he is, the devil, man. The devil is deceiver. This man been lying to the whole world, even in that clip that y'all just showed. you know, he can end the deceiver and lying to people, man.
And Richard Pryor knows the truth. He plugged in. He's an Eastern. Believe it or not, Mels could be Eastern Star. He's an Eastern Star, man. So he knows all the secrets and shit, and he knows who we are and everything.
New.
Hey, jump down to verse 7, It's verse 7. For the mystery of the iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose soul cometh is after the work of Satan, with all power and sign and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All deceivableness, that's what he's about.
Yeah.
You know, it said after the 1,000 years, Satan shall be released to deceive the nations. So that's what he's been doing. You know, he's been, Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof, if not, wherever who is it?
Isaiah 25:7.
He's been covering those faces, man. Perfect. Isaiah 25:7. The whole world think this man, like he said, Whitey. He think Whitey was back at start of civilization. It was the start of wisdom, the start of the art. That was no art during the Dark Ages.
Because when he got into power, he pushed that narrative. He pushed that falsehood.
That's right. So
and now we live in an information age, and it's all coming.
So through all history, you can find artwork on pottery. But during the Dark Ages, humans just said no art.
That's right. And you know what? I use the same thing that which is bullshit, because you go back there, it's nothing but art, and that's the reason why they won't let you go into certain castles, because they don't want you to go in certain castles. Why would you tell somebody you can come up here and see the outside, but you can't come inside? With some castles you can come inside, because what's inside is going to be too damning. And they don't want to destroy it because Esau's that fucking wicked.
Statues all on the buildings.
Yeah.
In Europe. And they got paintings there. What about the Black Madonna? Of course, it's an idol, but that's before the Renaissance. Right. And the Pope still bows and prays to that. To this day. So how you going to go and say the Dark Ages because there was no art? That's bullshit.
And then if you go over to northwest to north central Egypt, I mean not Egypt, but Africa, you're telling me hundreds of millions of so-called Negroes got on slave ships. Where is the artifacts of 100 million Israelites, niggas, living in north to northwest Egypt, combs, this and that? Oh, we just had a whole bunch of people just ooking and booking in the jungle. No, man, they had Fort Judah, they had Fort Levi, they had.
I got images of nothing but castles.
That's right.
There's castles all over North Africa.
Come on, man.
There were
That's
castles all down into to West Africa. There wasn't as many, but there were still castles all throughout there. And that goes to show you, because what I've learned through these studies is that when a people get conquered, their way of building ceases to be. And that's why you see more of the Mount Seir type construction here in America. But you know, I got a whole phone full of images of all the different castles that were all throughout North and West Africa.
And just to further back you up on that, I do have a precept too. It was 2 points. With the building, with the infrastructure. Esau does this. This is how they prove, as far as migration goes, what people went from this place to that place, like the Hyksos. I was watching a documentary, and it was like, well, when they came, you can tell how they built everything. It was based off the people from this region of, well, we come from Israel. And Esau tells you that. So the castles that we see in Europe, why don't they have that same infrastructure here? Come on,
exactly.
Why, when you look around the country, you see those Roman pillars. You drive downtown, you Lakeshore Drive, you know you come into the hood because you start seeing those Roman pillars from Soldier Field. All right, so
to the art museum, to Soldier Field,
all the political buildings, the libraries, the museums, a lot of the older schools, even a lot of the bigger homes. They they build with those column type, you know, a lot of those colonial homes and those French colonial homes, plantation homes.
But you also find that, not just in Rome, you find that in Mount Petra. Alright, with the eagle, with those same columns.
Oh man, there's a guy that just broke that down. Ooh, let me see if I can find it.
While you're getting that, I gotta highlight the brother Kowal right here.
That'll
Those are from Evanston. And then the brother Shafia. They did an excellent lesson because Shafia was over in Portugal and Europe. And he goes, you know, periodically here and there when he gets time to go. And he brings all these pictures and all these evidences. And then he goes to these different castles. And he did a lesson, and this brother, they did it, an excellent lesson on it. And they was just showing all the pictures and then the framework. You want to follow Esau? Follow Esau back to Petra, to Rome, to America. It has nothing to do with so-called Europe. They were not there.
Hey,
go ahead, brother. They were not ruling.
Another thing.
After the fall of Rome and it became the Holy Roman Empire, you know, Esau went and looked up the catacombs. He said that was niggas. That's it. You know, and there's the Byzantine Empire. That's what you want to call it. Google the Byzantine Empire. Look at the artifacts. And that's going to tell you. That's what Jake took over, man.
Constantinople to all on the way down.
And that's basically the start of your 1,000 years. You come in taking out the way, man.
And when you look at the architect of the castles, a lot of the castles are actually built with unhewn stone. It's built with unhewn stone. If you look at the side of the castles, the way it's built, all the stones are different sizes. Like
they didn't cut.
They didn't cut them.
They didn't do the hewn stone. We didn't build with hewn stones. That's the way the castles were built. They weren't built with hewn stones. So
that's the Israelite thing.
It all turns out evil. I mean, even all the stones are not even.
They was all, you had big ones, little ones.
But
they stuck with a lot of concrete to put it all together. You know.
Bring it out and play that video.
We were Simon 2 and 9. So let none of us go without his part of our reductions. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. This is our portion in a lot of this. You know, and you can tell we saw Ben, by the way, they've been setting up their infrastructure, man. You know, for the pillars and, you know, the high rises and things like that, you know.
Yeah, in this video, he's about to play. And everything you said is displayed in then some. There's some pertinent information in here, a couple golden nuggets he dropped. I was gonna actually do a response to this when I came across it. But this is some heavy info that all Israel, everybody that's watching needs to see.
I'm gonna set. I put it on. I took the share it off the screen. I'm gonna set it up and then I'm gonna share the screen back.
While you're doing that, can I read this?
Go ahead.
This Psalms 58 and 1. The chief musicians authorship the mission of David. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yet in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are restrained from the womb. They go straight as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And what Big I brought out that we were talking about too, mentions how Esau hates that we come with this truth because we speak what they say, the enemy of his education. Because they know they teach lies, man, but that's how you stay in power. You got to make yourself appear great.
That's right.
You know, that's what they have to do.
That's why they use the media to constantly put Jake's face in it as the bad guy and the problem in society.
That's right.
You know, meanwhile, that's far from the case.
Yeah, the scripture says
Put
Satan
together
himself as an angel of light.
for my
Satan is
investigation
evil. He put
on
himself
who
up on a level, man. You know, but it's all lies.
The anointed cherry.
All I'm gonna tell you now is enjoy.
Shalom Israel. So, okay, I made this little, I call it the dossier because I put it together kind of for my investigation on who is Israel, who is Edom. You know, if I was like, let's say to present this to the United Nations, I wanted things together in a good form. So this is Edom, okay? Well, this is Mount Seir right here, right? Now, I want you to note that as I was looking through documentaries on Neanderthal, I ended up finding that there is basically a treasure trove of Neanderthal bones in this location. Also found in this location was this eagle of Edom, okay? Now, I also want you to take note that the eagle ends up also carried off to Greece
That's right there.
And they called it the eagle of Zeus. Now, I also found that Esau, the founder of this place, he ends up being called Isus at a point in history, okay? Now, from that point, they end up changing that name to Zeus, okay? Now you end up back at the Isus, and this is where the Jesus name ends up coming from, right? So we can track the eagle from this location, right there. We then can track it to Greece, and then we track it where? To Rome. You get what I'm saying? Now, after Rome collapses, we see that England picks up that same eagle, and then so does. So we can see a clear path there. Also remember that the Neanderthal bones were.
This is why they want TikTok off the air.
The same style ends up following you.
Everything you just said is being brought forth. You see the same construction style, but the part that was really killer was the Neanderthal bones found inside of the cave.
So easy a caveman can do it.
So easy a caveman can do it. So they try to exactly. So they try to come with that lie that the cavemen. Oh, that was 10,000 years ago, brother. No. That was during the Dark Ages. All right. So let it finish. It's just a few more seconds left.
From Mount Seir to the White House, and you also, this is where you put the Jews, make them fight each other so you can get paid off of it. This is where you put the Jews so they can fight each other so you can get paid off of it. Okay, so everything under the sun. Make sure that you also see Obadiah so that some of this stuff can tie together. But I want you to see how it says, the pride in thine heart has deceived thee, thou who dwells in the clefts of the rock. What rock? That rock, because they're from Mount Seir. Now, who is it that would dwell in the clefts of the rock? Well, a caveman, or the Neanderthal. The Neanderthal was covered in hair all over his body, okay? So this is one way that you can kind of figure that out to make that attachment. Also here in Genesis 25:25, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Why would he come out hairy all over? Maybe because Isaac wasn't his real daddy.
Now he went off. Now he went off right there.
Now I'm gonna get into this more.
Yeah, he went off with that right there.
Stepdaddy, whatever. I understand this is new to a lot of you guys.
Okay, so we can stop it right there. Yeah, because he went off. But that golden nugget with the Neanderthal bones, right? And that connection to
he
that,
went
to
way
the
off.
Zeus.
And also just the what you call it, the architectural structures, even like the brother Kowal.
Because there's no scripture to substantiate or no history to back up that Isaac had his father to set him up to be a baby daddy. Or to be a
they was twins.
A stepdad.
Jacob and Esau are twins.
They
Exactly.
twins, yeah.
So
it clearly says that.
Right, and he said, I know this is new, so that means he's also reading some other books.
Ever learn and never will come to the knowledge of the truth. But
But
good job on the Esau shit. Hey, this is Job 30:1. But now they that are younger than I have been derision. That's what you mean. All right, and the younger means it's significant. Whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Esau's a base man. You wouldn't even want to run your damn dogs. And it's a run-on joke. When you watch Edomite comedies and shit like that, they love the peanut butter dog joke. They love it.
Yep.
Starting with Road Trip, on down to I think it's Office Space. It's just weird.
2.5 million.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, I was watching.
That's my point. Because it was one bitch, I think it was like World Star. She was somebody she left the dog. Look, they have dildos that shape like different animals. They got a lot of. It's a whole weird section, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they got dildos for children, so I don't
dildos.
Demon dildos.
Yeah, it was weird, bro. So
Yeah, I was watching a TikTok video and it's an Edomite lady. She was letting her horse lick her whole neck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
the commentary, the voiceover, he said, when people say this is some white people shit, this is what they're talking about.
Damn.
Joe Bergen too. Yeah. Where to like the strength of the hand probably became more able to perish. For one, in famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness and farming time, desolate waste. Because we would put, they was getting put in hard trouble, man. Jacob was taking their women and fucking them Edomite men up during the Dark Ages. So they ran into the wilderness to flee away. You know what I mean? Dealing with this shit. Who cut up Marlowe's mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for that meat.
Quest for
So those
five.
caves,
Hey,
they were
it's like if I just said juniper. I was watching one show, I can't remember what it was, and the Edomite went and told somebody else about the junipers. No, this is how you prepare the junipers. You need to do this, and that. And they had
Yeah.
a whole breakdown of junipers, and that just made me think.
That's
of
what gin is made up of.
Yeah.
Mostly, you know, you like gin. Gin is the main ingredient in gin is juniper roots.
yes, that's the best part of it.
You go up north too. You go up north. You can go to Walgreens over here on the south side or something, and you go to like the body wash and the soaps and stuff. And it's like, you know, it's regular Axe and stuff. But you go to the north side, it's like juniper body wash, juniper body spray.
Yeah, so like we like cocoa butter.
And they like
coconut oil and
shea butter. And all
Shea
that.
butter,
Right. These things are all in the juniper. I just why I was laughing because I'm like Esau breaking down on them, just playing through the juniper. I'm like, that he know this shit.
They like this shit. That's they used to.
Who cut up mallows by the bush to juniper roots for that meat? Meaning they was forced on the low level divers. They was in the caves.
So they brought their cave
don't
diet.
feel bad, brothers. Look, juniper is not exclusive to evil. Somebody video, I like juniper.
I like gin.
Hey, it's hard.
That kept them alive.
Yep.
Because they had to be preserved to rise back up again to rule this last time.
Yeah, and I always say that, you know, that's the reason why they came at Jake so hard the second time around and then hid who we were. Because this was, you gotta understand, man, we you know, when I say Israel, but mainly the Southern Kingdom was responsible for the destruction of their precious Rome.
Yep.
Right, and I'm looking at that comment, you know, the people that were the Germanic tribes, you know, that comment that Miss Kika Pete put up, those Germans were dark fleshed people at that point.
Yep.
All right, they weren't pale people. All right, that's just a fact. All right, the evidence of them being there during the Dark Ages, well, the images are still there. But continue, brother, about the shot.
They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. And that's the Caucasus Mountains. Edom was ran off and chased, and that's where they hid at, the Caucasus Mountains. Among the bushes they braved, under the nettles they were gathered together. And that goes to the damn Neanderthal shit, man. Right. Esau grunt and all that shit. And the Lord humbled him, just like he did Nebuchadnezzar. Exactly. Esau Edom is basically Nebuchadnezzar. They are the king of Babylon. They went from rulership to turn into fucking base animals back to rulership.
Yep.
All right.
And that's why he said he set up over at the basis of man.
That's the next line. They were children of fools, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Now who's more vile than this devil, man? All right. Look, the Elder Malcolm started off with that video. Taking sand and sticking up somebody's butt. That shit don't make sense.
Yeah, that video.
Who would think of that shit?
Who would think of that? That video that Elder Corral had brought out some years back when that broad was bending over for the pig. With her little funny looking, her and her husband is watching her get done by ponies and pigs and shit.
They had, it was like a documentary what was Edomite male.
And the dude got banged by a pony too.
Oh my God. It was the one dude got fucked up by the pig. But it was a video.
Oh no.
What the
Edom weird.
That's my pig.
But
damn.
It was this couple. They met online and their love started off the fact that she had a horse that she liked sexually, and she was talking to him about he liked this horse. And they met up, and now they basically have three ways to this horse. So whatever weird love triangle.
Now the horse got to get put to death because they got
that's just how Edom gets down, man. He's vowed, the most vowed.
Oh yeah, and he was like, "This is the woman of my dreams" or something.
Yeah, that's sweet, man.
Man, you sucking off your horse? I love you. What?
But then he goes, my turn, let me do it.
Oh, God.
Damn. Big horse sperm.
God damn.
It's 413. It's like jackass. They drink the damn. That's to drink the sperm. They jack the damn thing off. They drink it.
Take a shot of semen.
Yeah, bro. You watch Tom Green and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Edom don't do that shit, man.
That's why they say don't go to sleep around your white friends.
Well, you can't. because they do that.
Yeah,
They
do
they teabag, they take pictures with their dick on your lips.
I seen one
They
video.
stick stuff up your butt.
I seen one video.
That's jokes. But then what's fuck? With a nigga, you gotta
Nigga
die
kill your
because
ass.
of that.
Nigga kill you because of
Right.
that. Yeah.
Well, either they wake up and laugh about it. I'm gonna get you next time.
Well, I seen the video.
Somebody put the video in the
Something
room
gayer.
on how an Edomite.
I'm gonna out-gay you.
Yeah, right. Well, there's an Edomite in the pond, and he just take a big ass shit in the pond, and then the next thing is another bitch in the same pond drinking up water, but then upstream is an Edomite peeing in the water, and she's up there, why he peeing in the water? It's like Esau is done.
Esau made bitches and shit on him.
I say
Esau, was it Shiza? Shiza.
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes 1:13.
They sick.
This man ain't right.
Yeah.
But this is the work. But hey,
His soul
this
limb
is
is
the
not
same
right.
place, Salaki. This is the same motherfucking place to say, hey, you can have you a dog or an animal, but if you don't neuter him, I'm gonna take him from you. You know what I'm saying? This place is wicked. All their what they come up with, they can't go to sleep without coming up with another way of vexing a Jake with some abominable shit. This is an abominable place.
It said the rulers set up, or what? It said the children of fools. Then in the New Testament, it said that the Lord said this last world, is just a world of it's foolishness.
That's it.
Because the leaders just go back to the evil.
Hey, this is Ecclesiastes 1:13. Better is a poor and wise child than an old and foolish king who will no more be admonished. And that Psalm's going to how he was the deaf adder, he's stopping his ear. No, Esau's not correct his ways, he's just, his heart is not right. For out of prison, he come into reign.
That's right.
Right out the caucus mouse, he got out, got the papacy instantly.
What was it?
That nigga Esau moved quick to take control of the damn Pope seat, man.
Catholic Church,
Yeah. And then he got control, and what happened to that? The Catholic Church at one point was more powerful than the rulers of the country. Yeah, than the king. All right, so he got control of that. Then he started making policies, funding shit the way he wanted to fund it, and now we here. Out of prison, he coming to reign, whereas also he that born in his kingdom becometh poor.
That's right.
And welcome to where we at now. The economy's crashing, and you're going down, man.
That's
The
right.
Lord said, you will build, but I will throw down.
That's right.
That's right. Matter of fact, we never did get that Isaiah 25:7. Somebody can read that.
This is the book of Isaiah.
Chapter 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people.
Right. So they didn't cast these coverings over the nations, and then they use in color. They use color, not acknowledging the migration patterns, not acknowledging that there's no such thing as mixed people. That whatever the man is, that's what the child is, regardless of their outward appearance. They just came with a bunch of lies, which was a covering cast. Go ahead.
It says, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
And see, that veil has been lifted, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai, through great men, elders before us, all these things were revealed through the spirit, man. And you got people that have come up against the 12 tribe chart, but the 12 tribe chart matches with prophecy solid, 100%. All right, it matches with prophecy, and when you get to know and be around the people, each description of the tribes is just, man, you can't tell me I'm not Reuben, man. I was unstable majority of my life, man. All right, but loyal as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, always live my life with a certain set of honor and principles, man.
Like it's they damn country symbol is a donkey. Everybody jokes about how they work hard and shit. They do 18-hour shifts, go drink cervezas for fucking 4 hours, sleep for 2, and go right back to fucking work.
They sometimes don't sleep.
He's a strong ass.
Also Zebulon,
The haven of ships.
Panama Canal.
Come on. That land, the Zebulon land in Israel is landlocked. I mean, come on, that prophecy just for that is talking about over here, man.
Right. And then, you know, and then did Gad not get taken down by troops?
Yeah.
You know?
And at the end, he just
Right.
yeah.
Hey, Gad, will wake up and mash.
It's the water, Yahweh
Oh, yeah.
Shad. Gadites are starting to wake up. They've really been the last tribe we've been waiting on.
You took the word I'm saying.
Gad is you know, they the last because the rest of the tribes they're dealing. Gad is the last one. Gad's still fighting. We the spirit people. We're right.
That's why you got.
But a lot of Gadites are starting to wake up now.
Well, it's just a lot of Gadites look like Judites.
Well, that too.
See, but you remember how when we first came in, we used to lament about the Northern Kingdom.
Yep.
Brother, yes.
We was to the point where we was like, man, where's the Northern Kingdom? We can't wait because
Get
there was
rid of
hardly
that weak
any
link.
Northern Kingdom in there. Was the only Northern Kingdom that we kind of had a lot. You know what I'm saying? For a minute, it was like, what the fuck?
Pre-Afro.
And then next thing you know, they came in flux. I'm like, bam! They came in. They was coming in out the woodwork. Starting with this here in Chicago with Ariella and his cousin at the time. You know what I'm saying? And then it blew up. But now the scripture says at the end, Gad is going to overcome them. The Gadites, they got to come up.
Now you got Northern Kingdom brothers all over the globe.
So now there's
different camps all in southern. I mean, even you got Northern Kingdom brothers in a wicked ass Legion of Doom camp.
That's it.
You know, all down in Mexico. You got dudes in the wrestling outfits. You know, down in Mexico, wearing they leather studs and. You know,
hot as hell. Hot as fuck. The Latino only.
Oh yeah, them cats out there, them dudes out in Colorado, man, and down there south of what's that area? That area that's south of Colorado Springs, right before you get to no, it's south of Colorado Springs is south of Denver. It's south of Colorado Springs, about an hour away, and I can't think of the name of it right now. But you got a huge group of Northern Kingdom Israelites down there that they're not Judah. You know, it's only the Negroes are Hamites. Only the Northern Kingdom. Yeah, they Canaanites. Only the Latins and the natives are Israelites. So they're bugged out dudes. So it's the same bullshit that with the Judites with the black only. So all them clowns gonna die together, man.
That's right.
They gonna wake up like, damn.
Right. Ways to do it. Ass, man. I mean, that's finito. They're already waking up, but it's
and they one of the warrior tribes, and you know, and a lot of them are angry and want to get back at Esau. So once they get past, because they fell for the lies that Esau taught them about their own history.
Y'all did.
You know, just like them brothers that fell for that Egyptology shit. They fell for the lies that Esau taught them, trying to describe to them who they were to prevent them from knowing who they really are.
That's it.
This Proverbs 12 and 19 it says, "The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment."
That's right.
Your lies are up and being exposed again. That's the sign of your downfall.
Another, you got a lot of people waking up in the Philippines.
Yeah, you got
seen that video? That shit was
You
cold.
got Israelite foreigners all over the world now. That as well, brother.
They got that.
Go ahead,
This Ecclesiastes 10 and 16. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child. Now, princess in the morning, man, and we're being ruled by the lowest of the people, you know, and everybody's starting to see that the rulership is actually destroying not only here, but all across the damn globe, man. If you go down to verse 17, it says, "Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles." All right, I'm not reading further, but we're looking for the transfer of rulership, all right, for the real nobility to rise and take control of it.
That's right. That's right, big dog.
Yeah, we can't wait, man. People are hurt, man.
And what's the
People are signing cards. No, I mean it's
manifestations
often
of
we
the Son
just
of
break
the
out in tears,
Man,
because you're just angry, you know.
sometimes you can see it coming. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are people?
Yeah, I started watching a video and our brother would say something, you know, and it just breaks me down, man.
That's it.
Because we truly are, you know, it said that they will grab the scripture, they will wear out the saints.
Oh,
That's right.
And then whatever you got, Copper, bring it out what they're looking for. But we truly are worn out.
that right there.
And we're so disgusted with the wickedness that's that we're forced to live with on a daily basis, man. And these infirmities, these weak bodies that are constantly getting bombarded with chemicals and stuff that these self-proclaimed white people are forcing upon us by putting it in the food, man. You know, because a lot of European nations, even the Edomites over there, don't allow a lot of that shit.
Exactly.
You know, they don't allow a lot of those chemicals over there, so they're not as sickly as American. I just watched a video where a Nigerian chick was talking about how big her family was and how none of them have allergies except for the ones that come over here. Wow. Like they say, nobody's got allergies and gets clogged up nose and a teary eye. It only happens when it
and vaccines.
This is Romans 8. This is Romans 8:22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit the redemption of our bodies. And hey, everything, we all signed and crying, man, But Barakatah Yahabashim Al-Shai, we have the Spirit, man, the first fruits of the Spirit, man. We got a slight download, man. And when the Lord changes us in the twinkling of an eye, man, hey, we're not going to have the Spirit by measure, Hey, brothers is getting worn out, man.
See, you got the right Keeper can't help herself, man.
Hey, brother, let me tell you something. McDonald's menu in America is not McDonald's menu in other places. Because they will not let them put that bullshit over there. Esau gets away over here when he gets away over here because his end job is to kill the Israelites.
Right, exactly. And this is the biggest collection of all 12 tribes. And the truth was coming out here. And like you said, these people are just extra wicked. It's funny that we were talking about that on the way over here. Me and Pop was talking. We thought, hey, going to McDonald's was like going to Portillo's back in the day. That's how good it was. Quarter pound. It was actually a real quarter pounder. It was
actually a real beef.
Real fries, some damn cherry pies. I'm telling you, man, McDonald's was like going back to the 70s. And it really started getting crappy in the mid 80s. That's when it started changing.
And that's how we did that joke talking about this ain't McDonald's.
It's McDonald's.
I want from McDonald's.
Hey, I talk about this video game a lot. It's called Destroy All Humans, and the video game is actually based in the 80s. And they say that your own fucking people, the alien was complaining. He was like, what the fuck? Your own people killing you to make you stupid. The food make you dumb. The TV, and he used all to keep you stupid. They poison the food. God damn it. They use the TV. They put chemicals in it so you'll be more susceptible to the fucking television. And they put it right in your face. And then at the end of the motherfucking game, they show you that he was telling people, the government, well, take this, do this, it's cleansing you of a sickness. You walked in, no, he was killing them. He said, this is gonna, no, but he was literally just killing them. But it was some sickness, but they made him walk in his machine that was supposed to heal everybody, but it was just offing them. It was just, So, and they tell you about the shit they doing right now. He was just killing them, But it show you that Esau always, he put the shit in his video games. The meshes don't change, man. This dude is about death, man.
Like Raccoon City and Corona. That shit blew me when
Look at that movie Logan. They said we put poison in the snacks and stuff to kill off the mutants.
Even the Kings,
and we all know who the real mutants are because we're all waiting on that first.
It's like Flaming Hots.
15th chapter. Matter of fact, we're gonna close with that. Get that 1 Corinthians 15, verse 41 and somewhere around there. And then what was that other scripture? How we wore out.
If you look at the Kingsmen, they show you how they put human meat in a lot of these restaurants. It's actually
the second one.
People in the world, men of the Lord, both did reports on how there's not enough fucking cows not enough motherfucking goats, not enough motherfucking deer, not enough motherfucking bison, or nothing to have as much meat the earth is consuming right now. Mike McDonald's, every time you pass their golden arches, you'll see over 1 billion fucking served. Alright? They've been giving you a whole bunch of people. They've been feeding you horses. They've been feeding you all kinds of everything.
All those missing children that begin sacrificed for adrenochrome and all the other bullshit that they try to deny. There's a mountain of evidence to prove that it's true. You know, just like in those couple movies. You know, what was that in? Was that one? I think it was the one Snatch. He said, "Beware of gangsters with pig farmers."
Yep. Yes.
And then that other movie, he shows you that in one of the Hannibal movies. You know.
Oh yeah.
How he was using pigs to get rid of bodies, and he broke it down how pigs can get rid of a human body in like two to 4 minutes.
You gotta take away teeth.
And just they'll leave nothing behind.
In that movie,
they even eat the bones.
In the movie 999, they were dropping off the dead bodies to the car sides.
Yeah, and they were taking them right into the meat factory. Yep. What do you think they were doing with it?
Chicken
nuggets. They would get mixed right in with the beef and everything else. All right. And then you had that one rabbi that came on and said, "We've been telling you."
Finkelstein.
Man, Rabbi Finkelstein, he broke it down.
You don't want to believe us, right? We put it in the breakfast sausage.
Well, that's how you know. But you know what? It also makes sense. You know, when everybody took the BAM. You know, it's gonna you know, when they turn up that 5G,
they're gonna malfunction.
Yeah,
they took the joy.
Right, and then all of a sudden they start, you know, biting their neighbor. So, but they bring out those scriptures about the show.
There's the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 25. It says, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time and times and the dividing of time."
Right, and we're at that dividing of times. The water, how about It's been a long time.
I was tired, both.
All right, and now and for the last one off the shop.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
There it is, man. So we're waiting for those immortal bodies, man. All right, become the true X-Men. All right, then they ain't not going, and so they're not going to be able to put the poison in the snacks to kill the X gene. Right.
And Esau knows that is true. That's why he put all these super viewers.
That's why so many
movies and shit. Yeah.
Right.
That was that rejected.
You're gonna have all these bright burns and black atoms around us.
That's right.
But anyway, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash.
Wow,
Abba.